Kakbhushundi arrived under the banyan tree and could see that everyone was agog with anticipation. The hawk and the kite were particularly delighted because the story that was going to follow was one about combat, and that theme held a special appeal for them. Closing his eyes, Kakbhushundi mentally invoked Sri Ram and then went straight to the heart of the story. Directed by Sri Ram, Sugriv went and challenged Vali. He felt courageous enough to do so because he had the backing of Sri Ram. Vali, on his part, was quite taken aback to see this new attitude in Sugriv. Tara, Vali's wife, warned Vali not to accept the challenge. She had heard about the arrival of Sri Ram and Lakshman and about Sri Ram's divine power, and she knew that Sugriv had surrendered to Sri Ram, and that was the only reason why Sugriv had enough courage to come forth and face Vali. But Vali paid no heed, and he came out to accept his brother's challenge. The two got locked in combat. Vali punched Sugriv so hard that Sugriv went rushing in fright and pain to Sri Ram. He was very angry that Sri Ram had not protected him. Sri Ram soothed him and explained that the two brothers looked exactly alike, and so it was very difficult to distinguish one from the other when they were grappling with each other. So he placed a garland of flowers around Sugriv's neck, telling him that that way he would be able to recognize him. And then he sent him right back to Vali. The two brothers started fighting each other again while Sri Ram observed them from behind a tree. After a while, he saw that Sugriv was tiring, and so Sri Ram took out an arrow and shot it. It went straight to Vali's heart and knocked him down. At that, one contemplative crane in the audience had a question. If Sri Ram had given his support to Sugriv, then why could Sugriv not have killed Vali himself? Why did Sri Ram have to do that? Kakbhushundi smiled. It just shows how absorbed the crane was in the story. So he explained that Sri Ram gave enough strength to Sugriv to be able to challenge his brother and fight with him. But he did not give him the complete strength to defeat his brother, because then Sugriv would have claimed victory on his own merit. Because when one forgets Bhagwan, then the ego raises its ugly little head. Then the wise old owl had a question. If Sri Ram was Bhagwan, why did he need to put the garland around Sugriv's neck? Why could he not have been able to just distinguish between the two? Kakbhushundi smiled even more broadly. He said that that garland of flowers was a garland of victory that Sri Ram put around Sugriv. It signified that Sugriv had surrendered to Sri Ram and that he was now no longer alone and defenseless. Anyone who approaches Bhagwan for assistance always receives it. Then, continuing with his story, Kakbhushundi said, Sri Ram approached Vali, who was lying on the ground mortally wounded. Vali looked upon Sri Ram, recognized him as Bhagwan, and his heart was filled with devotion. But he asked Sri Ram, what did I do to you that you had to shoot me like this? What wrong did I do to you? And as Bhagwan, should you not be equal to everybody? And yet you befriended Sugriv and treated me like an enemy. What you did to me, does it not go contrary to Dharma? And Sri Ram listed out the number of times that Vali had acted against Dharma. He told Vali that when he came out of that cave after his fight with Mayavi and arrived at the court in Kishkinda, he had not even given Sugriv a moment to explain how he had become king. Instead, he chased Sugriv out of the kingdom and appropriated his wife. That was the most sinful thing to do. Second, even when Sugriv had left the kingdom, Vali kept sending emissaries to eliminate Sugriv. He just did not want to let Sugriv survive. That too was against Dharma. Third, Tara, Vali's wife, had tried to persuade Vali not to go out and face Sugriv because he had taken shelter at Sri Ram's feet. So to ignore Bhagwan and to give no importance to that is also against Dharma. And finally, Vali had befriended Ravan. And remember, Vali was a partial manifestation of Indra Devta. It was all the Devtas who had approached Bhagwan and asked him to take avatar to defend them against Ravan. And here, Vali was now making friends with the enemy. It was like being a traitor. So Sri Ram said that for someone who kept going against Dharma, it was meaningless for him now to question anybody else's action. Besides, Sri Ram emphasized, he had taken avatar not only to put an end to evil deeds, but also to the perpetrators of evil deeds. But out of his great compassion, Sri Ram offered Vali a new lease of life. But Vali refused. Having beheld Sri Ram with his own eyes, he felt that it was now no use remaining in a monkey's body. So feeling very blessed, he entrusted his son, Angad, in the seva of Sri Ram, and then taking the name of Sri Ram, he breathed his last without any distress. Sri Ram sent him to his own abode, Saket Dham. When Tara, Vali's widow, came weeping, Sri Ram blessed her with self-realization. And the only boon that she asked after self-realization was the boon of bhakti, because bhakti adds beauty to knowledge. So you see, said Kakbhushundi, in one go, Sri Ram attained 3 beautiful results. Vali was given a very exalted state. Tara was given liberation, and so she was freed from Maya and all its sorrows. And he accepted Angad as his sevak. Then Sri Ram asked Sugriv to perform the last rites of his brother. And Lakshman was asked to go and perform the coronation ceremony of Sugriv as king of monkeys. Then Sri Ram guided Sugriv on the qualities of a good king and how he must ensure the welfare of his subjects. There was many a fluttering of wings and bobbing of heads in wonderment of the boundless love and compassion of Sri Ram for every single being. And on that joyous, elevated note, the birds bowed down to Kakbhushundi and flew off to perch for the night.